and loved acting, and I did a lot of theatre. I mean, I did a load of theatre for years and years and years,
Right.
and then gradually started getting into acting in TV and film and so on. But it was after a lot of, but actually during that time I realised that I was into photography and cinematography, and so I really always knew I wanted to direct.
Yeah.
And
What was your first film?
So we formed the Imaginarium, and I was sort of gearing up to direct a small independent film, my first film. A small number of actors in a few locations. When I got a call from Peter Jackson to say, "Would you come and direct the second unit on The Hobbit?" which was completely out of the blue. And so suddenly I found myself standing in front of a crew.
He asked you to come and direct.
Yeah. The second unit.
But you hadn't directed any films up to that point?
Not my own feature. And I was he'd seen some short films that I'd directed.
Right.
And he knew over the course of the years of working together, and by now we'd worked together on many, many projects. King Kong and the Lord of the
So
Rings
he knew
films.
you had a director's mind anyway.
And he knew that I wanted to do that. And he gave me this incredible opportunity. And I literally found myself in front of 200 people, shooting native 3D, at 48 frames a second.
Huge scale.
Massive, couldn't be bigger. And
definitely not an independent film.
Definitely not a three-hander, no. So it was and we shot for 200 days on The Hobbit.
Amazing. That's like pushing you straight into the deep end.
Huge. And it was and Pete said, this and I owe such a lot to him, because he not only as a collaborator on the whole development of the technological side and the evolution of the character of Gollum, and then King Kong and all the other films that we'd worked on, Tintin and so on.
Would you consider him a mentor?
Oh, hugely so. Yeah, hugely so. I mean, he is responsible for such a lot of the success I've had. I can't deny it. And my whole experience of working with the team down in New Zealand. And
then did you bring that experience back into working on smaller films?
Actually, before that, I had directed some video games.
Oh, wow.
So and that came out of, this is interesting, the connection, because that came out of, after King Kong, I was asked by a video game company called Ninja Theory to create, to direct the performance capture for a new game called Heavenly Sword for PlayStation 3.